Welcome to Statute Stories. If you're looking to understand the law in a fun and engaging way, then you are at the right place. In this video, we will discuss sections 141 to 150 of the Pakistan Penal Code, PPC. So let's get started. Section 141, Unlawful Assembly. When 5 or more people gather for the common purpose of doing something illegal or threatening, the assembly is considered unlawful if its common goal is, number 1, terrify the government or public servants, bullying the federal or provincial government, legislature, or any public servant through criminal force or the threat of such force. Number 2, resisting legal actions, opposing the execution of any law or legal process. Number 3, committing crimes, planning to commit mischief, criminal trespass, or any other offense. Number 4, taking or enforcing rights by force, using criminal force or the threat of force to take possession of property, enforce a right, or deprive someone of their legal right. Number 5, compelling actions by force, forcing someone to do something they are not legally required to do, or preventing them from doing something they are legally allowed to do, by using or threatening criminal force. For example, 5 people come together to block a road, using force to prevent others from passing through, in an attempt to claim ownership of the land. This group forms an unlawful assembly because their aim is to enforce a supposed right by using or threatening criminal force, which is against the law. Section 142, being a member of an unlawful assembly. If someone knows that a group is gathered for an illegal purpose and still chooses to join or stay with that group, they are considered part of the unlawful assembly. For example, a bystander notices a group blocking traffic with the intent to force their demands on local authorities. Despite knowing the unlawful purpose, the bystander stays with the group and participates in the blockade. Since the bystander remains with the group knowing their unlawful actions, they are considered part of the unlawful assembly. Section 143, punishment for being a member of an unlawful assembly. Whoever is a member of an unlawful assembly shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 6 months, or with a fine, or with both. Section 144, armed with a deadly weapon in unlawful assembly. If someone joins a group of people who are gathering illegally and brings a weapon that could seriously harm others, they can face legal consequences. Even if the person doesn't use the weapon, just being part of a group with something dangerous can result in up to 2 years of jail time, a fine, or both. Imagine a group of people protesting without permission, and one person carries a knife. Even if he doesn't use it, just being in that illegal protest with the knife can result in up to 2 years of jail time, a fine, or both. Section 145, ignoring orders and staying in an unlawful assembly. If someone is part of an illegal gathering and the authorities tell the group to break up, but the person still chooses to stay, they can face legal punishment, even if they don't do anything harmful. Just staying in the group after being told to leave can lead to up to 2 years in jail, a fine, or both. For example, during a large protest without proper permission, the police arrive and announce that everyone must leave immediately. If someone stays despite the warning, they can be arrested and face 2 years in jail, a fine, or both. Section 146, rioting. Rioting happens when a group of people gather for an unlawful assembly and use force or violence to achieve their goal. Even if only one person in the group acts violently, everyone in the group is considered guilty of the crime of rioting because they share the same objective. For example, John organizes a protest against high taxes. During the protest, Tim and others start damaging public property, throwing stones, and setting vehicles on fire. Even though some participants like Tim acted violently, everyone in the group, including John, is held responsible for rioting because they were gathered for the same cause. Section 147, punishment for rioting. Whoever is guilty of rioting shall be punished with imprisonment of either description for a term which may extend to 2 years, or with fine, or with both. Section 148, deadly weapon armed rioting. When someone participates in a riot while carrying a deadly weapon, like a knife, gun, or anything that can easily cause death, they can face up to 3 years in prison, a fine, or both. Even if they don't use the weapon, just having it during the riot makes the crime more serious. For example, Mark and Sam join a political rally that turns into a violent confrontation. Sam brings a knife, ready to defend himself. Even if he doesn't use the knife, he and others involved in the riot are charged with up to 3 years in prison, a fine, or both, because Sam was armed with a deadly weapon. The presence of the knife increases the seriousness of the crime. Section 149. Shared guilt, accountability in unlawful assemblies. If someone in an unlawful assembly commits a crime while pursuing the group's goal, everyone in the group is considered guilty of that crime, even if others in the group didn't commit the crime themselves. If they knew that such an act was likely to happen and stayed in the group, they are also responsible for it. For example, factory workers gather to demand better wages. The protest turns aggressive and then damages factory property by breaking windows. Sarah didn't cause any damage, but stayed in the group knowing that violence was likely, since the damage was committed by a member of the assembly in line with the group's goal. Sarah and the others are also found guilty of the offense even though they didn't break anything themselves. Section 150. Hiring for unlawful assembly. If someone hires, encourages, or helps recruit people to join an unlawful group, they are treated as members of that group and held responsible for any crimes the group commits. Even if the recruiter wasn't physically part of the group or didn't directly commit the crime, they are punished as if they were involved because they helped bring people into the unlawful assembly. For example, Mr. Ray is unhappy with a city development project and secretly pays Kevin and a few others to join a protest and cause trouble. Even though Mr. Ray doesn't attend the protest, Kevin and the others vandalize public property. Mr. Ray is held responsible for the damage and punished as if he was there because he arranged for Kevin and the group to be part of the unlawful assembly. Thanks for watching. Like, share, and comment. Follow for more videos. Take care. See you soon.